All right. I believe I forgot my Rode wireless mic. So, what's up? Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. I don't even know whenever you're going to be watching this, but it is Friday, the 21st, I believe. Yeah, we'll say it's the 21st. Um, we are currently on our way to put gas. And then from there, we're going to be driving to Wilton. We're going to head to the Den of Ink Creative Shop, where we will be getting to work on some of the orders, emails, which I got to figure out what email I have attached to everything when it comes to the Office 365, because I have yet to receive any emails over the last week. And I have to find out if it's my account, is it the support account, or is it. I remember that I had my old Western Seminary account for like PowerPoint and everything. So there's a possibility that I still had my school account tied to all of this Office stuff, and I got to figure out how to fix that today and get that fixed. Follow up with all the clients, all the people.
Gas is still so expensive.
All right, so call me crazy, call me dumb, but I personally, so I work at home, I work at my church, and then I work here at this creative shop. We call it the Ranch. But one of the things that I've always just been wanting to do is purchase additional chargers for my phone, for my laptop, just everything that I need, getting additional chargers so I don't have to constantly be pulling out chargers, carrying them all around, trying to remember them. There's been multiple times where I've forgotten my charger at any one of those spots and then needed it later, and it's like, okay, oh, I don't have an additional charger. I don't have a type C with me. So one of the things I've just been wanting to do is, okay, let me buy an additional MacBook charger. Let me buy an additional phone charger and have one at every spot that I'm usually at working, just in case I need it. I forget it at home, or if I have them all there, I technically would not need to carry a charger with me, because every place I go, unless it's like a trip, I'll have a charger. Or at least they'll be there for backups just in case. But that, and I need to bring down everything I carry. Um, I did work with somebody on that. Like, what am I supposed to be having my everyday carry per day, and all that stuff. And I didn't clean out my backpack last night, but currently in my bag, two books, The Bait of Satan and The Let Them Theory. Two amazing books. I use this as my pen case. It's got Venom on the front. Shout out, Venom sticker. So I've been a huge fan of journaling. I've always journaled, always tried to write something down, at least every day, if not every other day. So I found some different ways to journal. There's Peter McKinnon's way. There's another guy that I found, and I've kind of adopted the other guys. I've totally forgot his name. I've talked about it in my vlogs before, but this is my Be Better journal. Because if you know me, my favorite quote is, "Don't be sorry, be better." So, Be Better journal. And I've been decently consistent with it. So here's my learning to be better. You can kind of see the chart here. As consistent as I would like to be, no, but it does give you a way to track your habits and everything. So, very good way to journal. And I love to write. So, having this with me everywhere I go, love it. It's not just for journaling. I have prompts that, I looked up on ChatGPT. Some prompts that help me, be better. Prompts that go with the books that I'm reading to develop me as a leader, as a creative. So just an all-around journal prompts. But it's also used for your creative ideas, for things you want to write down, for anything really. Like even if it's just not prompted and hey, I just want to journal, I just want to write. Yeah, that's exactly what this is for. So I have that one with me. Usually this is with me all the time. If I don't have that with me, then I have the field notes. Now, field notes I've used for quite a while. I used it back when I was working at Barnes & Noble. I used it when I was in college, but I would always carry a field note. And then I stopped for a little while and I was like, oh, well, that's just one extra thing in my pocket. But realistically, having a field notes journal is probably one of the best things I've ever done, is having it on me at all times. So you have your field notes journal. Usually I have a black pen. I traded my purple pen because that was the last thing in my hand last night. But having a pen and then having this on me at all times. And it's just one of those, hey, you're talking to somebody or you have an idea. I may not have this journal with me at the moment. So if I'm in the store, if I'm at lunch, if I'm talking to somebody, cool, bringing up an idea, oh, here we go. And I just start writing it down. And I know some people are like, oh, use your phone, use this. Well, you're more likely to remember it if you write it down. Not if you type it in your phone, but if you actually write it down. And so the Field Notes Journal is really just to brain dump. Throw everything, your thoughts, your ideas, your doodles, your sketches, just throw it all in here. And so Field Notes, great brand, very durable. I use the dotted paper. At one point I did use blank, but dotted for me is a little bit better. You fill in your address and stuff here. But yeah, that's another thing I carry all the time. Pilot G2 pen, one of my favorite things to carry. I don't think it's gonna focus. But I made the biggest mistake of not paying attention when I purchased the Pilot G2s. So I am not a fan of 0.7. I despise 0.7 pens. But for the most part, I have to use them because when I went to Staples, I was like, oh, there's a sale going on, and I thought it was 0.5. Turns out it's 0.7. If I could, in a perfect world, I would have 0.38. I did pick these up from a little Japanese shop in Davis. I forgot what it was called, but this is a 0.4 pen. Really love how it writes. It's like a burgundy brownish color. So I don't know if it's gonna focus on that. There we go. Let's continue. My Bible. So following along with our daily reading plan, stuff like that, have those in here. This is the Bible I used when I was attending seminary school. It's falling apart now. But I don't want to get it. It just has all my notes, all my highlights, my notes when we're going through the book of Genesis right now, Exodus and Leviticus. So I usually carry this with me, and I know a lot of people are like, oh, you have it on your phone, your iPad, your whatever. I like to have the physical copy with me at all times. There are times where, yeah, I'll leave it at home and, I'll use my phone or I'll use my laptop. But if I know, hey, it'll be a lighter day, I'll be able to do some reading, I'll be able to do some studying, I will carry it with me. If not, then I'll use Bible Gateway or Logos. And then we have the final two things in my backpack. We got Bible notes and creative notes. So I really love the design of these journals. Yes, they have the little strap, keep it all in place. But I do not like the hard covers. I like the flexible covers. And then same thing, these are square grid. They're not the dotted grid lines. These are just I guess this would be graphing, right? And so this is all biblical notes, all note taking for the small group. So the Below the Surface podcast, this is all for that. Anything, if I'm in church and I'm taking notes, I will use the Be Better one for church notes. It's a little bit smaller, and carrying this around is a little bit easier in church rather than carrying this giant thing. But I do like how big it is and how much I can write. And so this is where we do a lot of our deeper dives. This is where my notes come from for the podcast. And then I actually fell in love with the way I was doing that and just the amount of space. And so I got another one for the creative notes. So this is just all of my, there's not much in it. I just started it. But this is just for anything creative. So if I'm doing any research, if I'm doing any studying, if I'm learning into something new, all of my creative notes are in this. And do I really need to carry this around with me everywhere? No. It's usually just for when I'm studying, different creative things. Photography, videography, graphic design, content creation. So I'll have this with me too. And that's pretty much it. Oh. And every once in a while, when I feel like I'm going to have a lighter day, I'll bring the Nintendo Switch. Again, I wasn't supposed to bring all this. I was only supposed to bring my laptop and my main journal, the Be Better journal, and then the creative journal. That was supposed to be it for today. But I fell asleep last night while I was editing the Below the Surface podcast, and I woke up running a little late and forgot to change everything out. So here we are. And that's what's in my current Friday carry. Every day is different.